Hey folks, Philly Boy J here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my smothered baked chicken. What I like to do first is fill a big bowl up with cool water. I add about a tablespoon of salt to the water to create a salt water solution. And I add my frozen chicken thighs to the salt water and I let them sit in it until they unthaw. You're going to remove the excess fat from the front and the back of your chicken, and you may see some clear stuff under the skin of the chicken. Make sure you remove that. Now I'm going to leave most of the skin on my chicken, but I am going to cut off the excess dangling skin like you see there. So make sure that you remove the excess dangling skin. The vegetables that I like to add to my smothered baked chicken are onions, green bell peppers, and red potatoes. So make sure you chop up some onions, peppers, and potatoes. I'm going to be using some butter. That is optional. I just like to add butter to my baked chicken. I'm also going to be using one chicken flavor bouillon cube to enhance the chicken flavor. And here are the seasonings that I like to use. I'm going to be using thyme, some parsley flakes, some black pepper, some onion and garlic powder, and seasoning salt. You can use regular salt, okay? And don't worry, even though it look like a lot of seasonings, most of these seasonings are not high in sodium. Okay, they're not salty. So you're going to get some chicken broth and you're going to add some flour to the chicken broth. This is what we call a slurry. That's what's going to create a gravy for our baked chicken. Okay, so add your flour to the chicken broth and stir it in until it dissolves. There go our clean chicken. We're going to add our seasonings to the chicken. And then you're going to massage the seasonings in really well, okay? Now, I want to put it out there and let you guys know that if you decide to make more than just 6 chicken thighs, because I'm using 6 chicken thighs, this recipe, the amount of seasonings that we're using, will work for up to 8 chicken thighs, okay? And if you decide to use other chicken parts, like wings or drumsticks, you can do so. Just make sure you use more because they're smaller than thighs. All right, you're gonna preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Going to get a baking dish and you're going to add your chicken flavor bouillon cube and all your vegetables to the baking dish. All right, make sure you spread your vegetables out. Then you're going to add your well-seasoned chicken thighs. Now, you want to make sure that your oven has been preheating for at least 10 minutes before adding the chicken to the oven. And for the full recipe, visit the description box below. And the link there to the recipe will take you to my website where you'll find all the exact measurements and all the detailed instructions. All right. So that's our well-seasoned chicken thighs. And now we're going to add our slurry. Like I said, this is what's going to create our gravy. It's going to turn into a nice, thick, flavorful gravy. So add your slurry, and then you're going to follow that up by adding your butter if you choose to do so. Okay, and make sure you stir that flour again before adding the slurry because the flour loves to seep down to the bottom. So you got to stir that really well. Okay. And I love smothered baked chicken. This is something that is really good to make for like the autumn and winter months. It's like a hearty recipe to me. Okay, so we're going to add this to our hot oven and we're going to let it go for a couple hours. Now, there is something that I want to let you guys know. It's important to stir your gravy a couple times while the chicken is baking because again, with that flour, it loves to seep down to the bottom of everything. So make sure that you stir the gravy just to make sure that the flour gets all throughout the broth and it thickens. Otherwise, the flour will be at the bottom and you will have loose broth floating to the top and it won't thicken. Okay, so just stir it 1 or 2 times while the chicken is baking. That's all. And there goes our smothered baked chicken. Look at the gravy. Now, I had done this recipe before and I received a lot of comments from people asking whether or not they should add aluminum foil to the baked chicken before adding it to the oven. And no, you don't need to. You know, chicken is not like turkey or steak. It's not really tough. So the chicken cooking in the gravy is enough to get it real nice and tender, okay? While it's cooking in the gravy, aka slurry. And there goes, you know, our smothered baked chicken. Look at that delicious thick gravy. You guys are going to love this recipe. It is absolutely delicious. For those of you who tried it before, you already know how good it is. This smothered baked chicken is the bomb. It is amazing and you guys are going to love it. Like I said, the full recipe will be below in the video description box. So make sure you give this recipe a shot. You are going to love it. It is absolutely amazing. I make it all the time, like I said, during the fall and the winter months. And I want to show you guys just how tender the meat is. Let's look at this meat. Look how tender this meat is. This is why I said you don't need to add any aluminum foil because chicken is not like steak. It's not tough, so it gets tender rather quickly. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Philly Boy J showing you guys how to make smothered baked chicken. Peace.